this fight, our judges, Gain and Neil, our other judges, Martin, Charney and Joe Horn. Our timekeeper is going to be Dan Litchfield, and our referee, Clement Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing to follow in the international welterweight division. He's fighting out of the red corner on my left, wearing the white, red and yellow trunks. He weighed in at 67.3 kilograms. His fight record, 42 fights, 36 wins, 23 inside the distance, 5 losses and 1 draw. He's a former 2 times WBO and WBH world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dingaan, the Rose of Soweto, Thobela. His opponent this evening weighing at 67.4 kilograms. He's wearing the purple and blank trunks. He's fighting out of New York with a fight record of 28 fights, 21 wins, 3 losses and 4 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, William, the Slick Willy Wise.
Well, this is going to be a true test here for Dingaan Thobela tonight, Leonard. Comeback sort of for him.
Well, yes, it is, because, you know, the memory of that last fight of his lingers here, and I think everybody realizes that it's make or break tonight for Dingaan. If he loses to Willy Wise, not a bad boxer, Willy, not a big puncher, New York State lightweight champion. He's got a good record. He's lost to 3 men who are all pretty good fighters in their own rights, and Dingaan has to prove that he can come back, he can do something. And I'm going to be very honest and say right at the beginning that I think Dingaan's carrying a little bit too much weight around him. He's puffy.
Well, you know, he should be. He's weighing in at 67.30. I believe he should be around about 65. It's a couple of kilograms over. He's not lean and mean. And he's going to battle against this slick welterweight from New York. He's been a pro for close on 10 years. There's not many fights for 10 years, so he hasn't taken a lot of punishment.
No, he hasn't. He's lost to good men like Shannon Taylor, the unbeaten Australia, and then of course he also lost to a very good fighter called Reggie Green, who down in Virginia they tell you is the second best man to Colonel Whitaker in their state. Reggie Green's got the record that goes with it. He's a good fighter too.
Well, no disgrace in losing to men like that.
Not at all.
But, you know, at the weigh-in on Friday night, he battled to make the weight. He had to go to the scale 3 times. It was 149 pounds in American terms. They're fighting at 67.58, which is 90 grams over the welterweight limit. So he had a bit of a problem making the weight, but I don't know how this will affect him as the fight goes longer.
Of course, he did come in as a very late substitute because initially there was hopes that the other man in this ring would be Gary Murray, but of course that was suggested when Gary Murray was having a holiday skiing in the slopes of the Italian Alps, knew nothing about it, and when he got back to this country he said, no, I'm not ready for a fight that quickly. I'll fight Thobela, but not yet. Then they had a Mexican to come out here who pulled out at the last minute, so Willy Wise was only contacted about a week ago.
Well, look at his record. I see he hasn't fought since July last year, and he fought Jose Rivera and beat him on points. Is that the same Jose Rivera who fought against Brian Mitchell, I think it is?
Could well be, and right now Willy Wise is taking a couple of good right-handers to the head from Dingaan Thobela. He knows that there's still a lot of power in the Thobela fist because Dingaan unleashed right-handers there, and I think the way things are looking and the way Dingaan is shaping physically here, he will have to get on with it and try and put the pressure on Willy Wise right from the beginning and show he's the boss, because the longer this fight goes, I think Dingaan's going to have a little bit of trouble keeping the stamina going.
Well, this is the whole problem with Dingaan Thobela. We've always had this problem, even in his lightweight days when he was world champion. He had the same problem. Good right hand there to the body from Willy Wise. He's a good mover, showing some good moves here in the first round.
Well, he knows how to box, that's one thing. He might not be a big puncher, but he's fast.
Good sneak right hand there from Thobela.
Thobela knows he's going in, as he tried to do against Jeff McLeish, and get it over with in a hurry. And in the second round, he made that mistake. He thought he would get it over with in a hurry, left himself wide open to that right hand to the head.
Well, a very interesting first round there. Thobela didn't show much. Possibly warm up a bit in the second round.
Mark, if you need, but he's throwing a wild over and right. Okay, you keep your hands up nicely. What he do is when he throws it wild over and right, slip, come back with left hook. What we just worked on now in the dressing room. That's exactly what he's doing. He's throwing over and right.
He's very smart.
Yeah, he's slick. Yeah. He's slick, but you caught him in the end, right? last half. We'll pick up.
Well, we're going to round 2 of this international welterweight contest. Well, just 90 grams over the welter. We'll call them welterweights. Dingaan Thobela in the multicolored shorts here against Willy from New York in the mauve with the black trim.
Dingaan, good right-hander from Thobela, and he's been told to watch that overhand right of Wise's and slip underneath it and score with the left underneath. But he himself is throwing a good right too. Another right-hander from Thobela. He's very accurate.
Picked up the pace here in the second round.
Very accurate with that right-hander, Thobela. Finding his mark. That's a punch he's always favoured, is that sort of sneak out long right hand coming out of the blue like that, and it does upset an opponent who's expecting to be left-leaded. Suddenly finds a right hand coming through over the top like that. Thobela's very good at it.
He's got fast hands.
There it goes again. Sneaks that right hand through.
You can see why they call him Willy Slick Wise, because that was a slick move. He ducked in under that punch. Pretty good movement there.
Yeah, but the right hand of Thobela again found his block. To add, Dingaan is actually finding that he can hit Willy Wise with that right hand.
Awesome. A bit of blood there, I think, on the lip of yes, so Wise has got a bit of blood in the lip, and I think it's from those right hands. Good right hands coming in from Thobela. Thobela setting himself up now for that right hand. And
at this stage, of course, the pace is not what you'd call a hot one, so Thobela is able to move forward and concentrate on throwing those punches of his as he wants them to go.
I think that suits him.
Good shot, so coming back from Wise there. Caught Thobela twice with a right and a left.
Oh, Thobela's got to win here tonight. He needs this win because he's got to win well, because if he wants to pick up his career and go into any world title contention.
Well, he's certainly showing plenty of ability to throw the punches. He's not looking sluggish like he did. Actually, he looked pretty sluggish in that fight against Jeff McCreek.
Oh, yes.
But he's throwing a lot more punches here tonight.
Well, he's picked up the pace here in the second round. He started off slowly in the first round, but he's picked up the pace very nicely and good hand speed.
Oh, interesting work there from Willy Wise. Sort of expected him to use speed. He didn't. He stood in front of Thobela, waited, and suddenly unleashed two left hooks, and they both landed.
No holding.
Well, coming up to the end of the round, an interesting round. It's been quite a nice fight up to now.
Well, Willy Wise, you can see he knows his way around the ring. And Thobela's going to have his work cut out here. He's got to catch him with a good one. Good mover, moving out of range. But enough from Thobela there to shade that down on my card.
Well, there you see, here is Anton Gilmore warming up in his dressing room for his upcoming fight with Cassius Beloy for the WBU Junior Featherweight title. It's the all-action Gilmore, working out in his dressing room much as though he fights in the ring. This young fellow never stops going. He's a tearaway. He's a real little bulldog in the ring. Hands going all the time.
Well, this is his second crack at the WBU title. So this is his big one tonight. He's got to make it tonight. He knows he's not going to get many more chances at world titles.
Yes, well, back in the ring, the action's going on. Here we get ready. Third round coming up. Dingaan Thobela against Willy Wise from New York, the New York welterweight champion.
It's Wise moving. Got a good left hand as Wise. Good moving. Moves in and out.
Good left hand going in from Thobela. Thobela's throwing those punches from a good range. Oh, and he bangs that left hand in again.
No holding, no holding.
Wise coming in with.
Well, this will be a good test for Dingaan Thobela.
Wise is coming in from Wise, actually.
Yeah, he knows his way around.
Slick as the name, slick as the word. He is that all right. Hard man to nail. nice little body sway. Moves out of the range of punches and is there to throw back on his own whenever the opportunity comes.
Well, very difficult against a man like that with that lateral movement. Very difficult. And he takes a punch well. You can see he knows when he's hurt, he comes in, holds. He's been around. He knows his way around the ring.
He got hit with a short right from Thobela there and came straight in on top of his man, which gives the impression that he wasn't hurt as much as he really was. There goes the sneaky right of Thobela's over the top. Strange the way he throws that shot every now and again.
Oh, good left hand there.
That's the kind of punch Willy was trying to afford to get. Oh, no, barrage coming from Thobela. And this is Thobela in full cry here. Those punches hurt Willy Wise. Hooks to the head and there they're going again. Thobela moving in on his man. Willy Wise happy to get into a clinch, and he took some shots there to the head that must have hurt him. Less than a minute to go in this third round. Good round for Thobela up to this point. He's looked very good. Nice round. Body shots coming in from Wise. Thobela, of course, fighting in spasms now.
Now, a little bit of tie around the waist there. I reckon he could get a couple of kilograms off. He's got to pace himself.
Well, he throws a few good punches and then goes into a shoulder, comes back again. That was a good right hand to the head.
Excellent shots coming there from Thobela. But Wise has taken them very well.
Wise is, banging left hook to the head. And a right to the head, and Wise is back in the fight. He's taking those shots from Thobela and standing up to them extremely well.
He's not going to fall down very easy, this man. He's looking, taking the best shots from Thobela that time, but a very good round for Thobela.
Well, there we have the dressing room of Cassius Beloy, that classy stylist from Vender, now the WBU junior featherweight champion. He's going to have quite an advantage in height in this fight tonight. He's a tall, long boy, as
He's
Beloy.
close on in old terms. He's on 5'11" and 3/4 inches, so he's a pretty
A
tall man.
six-footer, give it the old terms.
So what's that, 1,83, somewhere around there?
That's a lot. Well, anyway, here's some slow motion from the fight that we're watching at the moment. Thobela on the attack here, and that's when he caught his man on the ropes. Unleashed a good barrage of shots to the head, and they must have hurt Willy Wise, but Wise came back well and shook off any indication that he may have been hurt.
Well, he's an experienced campaigner. You can see he knows what to do when he's hurt. He gets inside, he clinches. As we go into round 4 of this international contest between Dingaan Thobela, the former 2-time world champion, against Willy Wise from New York. Wise showing a lot of good moves here in the ring against Thobela, who's been throwing some of his best shots.
Yeah, Wise moving actually quite well. He puts his left-hand work is doing quite well. The jabs and he hooks with the left hand. Occasional right hand coming through, but he seems to favour the left more.
At the way, Dingaan Thobela came in at 67.30 and Willy Wise at 67.4. It's just over the welterweight limit. And that's Willy Wise in the mauve trunks with the black trim, and Dingaan Thobela in the multicolored shorts, the red, yellow and white. Thobela moving well, commanding the center of the ring, cutting off the ring very well, showing all his years of experience in his 42 professional fights.
Although I noticed one thing now, I don't know if it's a trend already, but Thobela is reverting down to being a one-punch fighter at the moment. He's not earlier on he was throwing good combinations. Now it's a shot here and a shot there.
Well, I suppose he's getting to the veteran stage and he's definitely slowed down. So
I'm talking about in this fight itself.
No, the fight itself, yes. And possibly it's also because of his old stamina problem. He's got him.
Good right hand bang off Willy Wise's jaw. Wise took it well, and comes back with his own right to Thobela's head. So Thobela is falling down into the pattern now of just throwing one shot at a time, and he's not moving around the ring as fast as he was earlier. I'm beginning to wonder if you know, we had the idea of 2-3 rounds, and then the pressure starts to tell. Is he as fit as he should be?
Well, I can see a little bit puffy under the right eye, Mr. Bella, so he's taken a couple of shots there. But Wise is giving as good as he can. He's never really looked like going down. He's taken good shots, but he comes right back at Thobela.
Well, there's that sneak right of Thobela's that went through twice, landed both times.
Oh, he's a durable customer, is this Wise.
Got out of the way of that one all right. Oh, but he didn't get out of that one, and that staggered him all the way down to his heels.
Well, he's right in his own corner, is Wise now, and he's in real trouble. They're taking the best shots of Thobela.
Thobela's starting to open up a bit now, but
now the first time he's been in trouble in a fight. I see he's running now.
Well, Wise is hurt.
He's hurting.
Thobela moving in on him now, and this is when Thobela's got to do it, because he has Wise virtually at his mercy here.
Wise weathered the storm. Thobela's backed off again. I think he's had to.
And a banging right hand and the left hand to the body from Wise. Thobela let him off the hook there. That you get the indication that Thobela can only fight in bursts and spasms.
That's right. He's not fighting the full 3 minutes round. He's fighting possibly 1 minute in the round.
Big body puncher. This guy doesn't want to...
Well, here's some slow motion from the round. Thobela banging that right hand to the head. There's a good punch, that long right of his. There he tries with it again. At times almost looks unorthodox, and yet it's very effective.
Well, I'm surprised that Willy Wise is still there after taking those shots, but he did well to stay in there and come right back, because he was hurt with a couple of those.
This shows the actual amazing ability of Thobela to throw crisp, accurate punches. He's a wonderfully accurate puncher, is Thobela. And even that Wise seems to be defending himself well. Thobela gets right through that defense with that right hand of his.
Well, we're going to round 5 of this international welterweight contest, scheduled for 10. Then Willy Wise in the mauve trunks with the black trim, and Dingaan Thobela from South Africa, trying to get his career back on track after that terrible knockout against Bakrish and the multicolored shorts.
Wise on the attack and landing the shots here.
Well, all credit to Wise. He's taken a few good shots in that previous round, and he's come right back in. He looks quite sharp here in round 5.
He seems to be the kind who can take a good punch, ride it well, and come back. Good recovery powers. Bit of a maul at the moment.
Spin off work, 98 left to.
And it's Wise doing the punching. Wise actually coming out of the break and throwing the shots.
Well, Thobela backing off now, slow.
Oh, there's a left hand from Wise, banged off of Thobela's nose. It's going in close, and he's...
Good right hand coming in there from Wise.
And another one.
He's come right back into the fight here in round 5.
He's finding his target. And what... Was I right in the last round when I said I thought that Thobela looks like he was flagging a bit, as though the stamina problem was starting to catch up with him?
Well, you can look at his muscle tone. They're not sharp. He definitely is not in peak condition.
But he's doing very little here except probing out with a single punch every now and again. Some good shots, but Wise is able to do what he wants to, dictate the pressure.
I think Dingaan Thobela is just relying on one punch now.
Wise moving in on him. Good right hand to the body from Wise. Wise is... Thobela's happy to clinch and keep it in close. Thobela looking decidedly sluggish all of a sudden.
He's got to pick up his work right here, Thobela. And possibly this is Wise's best round of the fight.
Yes, Wise is coming right through now. He's scoring from short range, getting his shots through. Thobela walking forward is... A lot of the spring has gone out of him.
Well, they slow down to real pedestrian pace now, both of them. Just become a little bit of a waltz here.
And very little coming back from Dingaan Thobela. There he's trying the one right hand over the top that might do the trick. Bit of a welt coming under Thobela's right eye.
shots in that from that left hand is getting through from Wise. Oh, good combination.
Wise takes the right hand to the head, but he comes back with a good 1-2 of his own.
I must give that round to Wise.
That was a good round for Wise, yes. And Thobela slowed down considerably in that round. Is the old stamina problem coming up again?
Let's hope
That straight right hand to the body is looking good.
It's
Looking nice now. Okay?
And now the corner of Wise.
Step over to the right hand.
And here we have some slow-mo, and you can see here how Wise was doing the attacking, banging left hands off of Thobela's head. There was a left hand that went through and caught Thobela on the eye there. And there is a mark well done to Thobela's left eye at the moment.
We go downstairs now, we let go. So I can grip the bucket.
Downstairs and let go, says Brian Mitchell to Thobela. Or can he do it?
Work this down, let go.
Or into round 6 for this international welterweight fight between Dingaan Thobela from South Africa and Willy Wise from New York. And Willy Wise has come back into the fight after a very, very good 5th round.
Now it's up to Thobela to show that he still has something left. He gets his head knocked back twice with left jabs.
It's a slow Thobela, yeah. He's like an old court horse, yeah. He's walking around the ring. No hand speed, mauling. This is not a Thobela we know.
Oh gosh, it looks like a cart horse that's pulling a cart that hasn't been oiled as well. He's very slow. Trying to slug it away with Wise now and getting some good shots. Was told by his corner to go down below. That's a good right hand from Thobela. All of a sudden he's trying to open up again. But it's one shot at a time. He's not putting them together. He's not opening his man up. He's hoping that the one is going to do it and do all the damage on its own.
Oh, Wise came back at him there with a good little right hand. Well, it's quite sad to see Dingaan Thobela. Far from the great days when he was lightweight champion of the world.
Oh, the real Dingaan Thobela would have taken this fight apart and we would be watching the next bout already. But not the performance he's giving here.
He's just lost it. He's lost that hand speed. He's just going through the motions. It's not the same Dingaan Thobela we know.
No holding, no holding.
Willy Wise putting on the pressure here, and Dingaan's got very little coming back again. Tried a couple of shots earlier on, but doesn't even seem to be the strength in him to push his man away.
But it's the old problem, as we always know, conditioning. And I think this is catching up with him now.
The word is dedication, Ron, and unfortunately it's been lacking too often. Crowd calling for Dingaan to do something. He's throwing punches in from short range, and actually one or two are getting through and banging against White, but there doesn't seem to be all that much power in them.
It's becoming a little bit of a maul here now.
Watch your head. Watch your
Wise
head.
knows he's just got to stay on him and lie on him. And he's as intent on staying there as Wise.
Well, the degree of fitness that Wise is carrying would be able to see him through, because as this fight progresses, he'd be able to use that. Thobela will drop behind because Thobela is not fit.
He's going to throw those shots now. Thobela throwing one shot at a time. No combinations coming from Thobela. But I think he did enough to win that round.
Deep breaths, come on, deep breaths. Keep it deep, keep it deep. Come on, come on. This is the Wise zone now, okay? Coming into the 7th round now, baby. We're coming down stretch. Okay, this is where you come on strong. Okay? Rinse.
Well, some action from that round. There's a little bit of maul, but a good shot going there from Thobela, but very seldom was he landing those. There's only one shot at a time.
Wrong one, please, isn't it?
Okay.
Right, champ?
long jabs. Get on your toes. Think, make him miss. This guy out there, make him look bad.
We're into round 7 now, and Dingaan Thobela's got to do something better than this. If he wants to go into world title contention, which I don't think he's got anymore, he should have stopped an opponent like Willy Wise. He's not looking good yet tonight, Leonard.
No, he's winding down now. He's starting to look like a sluggish old-timer who's seen better days. He's playing the part of that.
And it's sad to say that, because he's a great fighter in his time.
Oh,
he's a great champion.
The real Thobela, as we say, would have won this fight comfortably long before this. He wouldn't be in the situation where he was trying to make a new impression on people after that disaster he had in the last fight. But, I mean, where do you recall Thobela being jabbed to the head with right-handers like that and having his head knocked back? It just wasn't there.
This is in round 7, and I think it's going to be long rounds to round 10 for Dingaan Thobela. That's Dingaan Thobela in the multicolored shorts, the red, yellow, and white.
No holding, Willy. No holding.
Willy Wise in the mauve trunks with the black trunk. Willy Wise, a slick mover, making Thobela work jump.
Yes, he's found he can keep him close too, and he probably realizes now that Dingaan hits him with the occasional shot. The spray bounces off of him, but it doesn't really hurt all that much. It doesn't seem to worry Willy Wise, so he just keeps coming forward.
Well, he takes a shot very well, as Willy Wise. Not much of a puncher himself. Look at his record, he's only got 6 stoppages. So, and he tends to wing his punches in. He doesn't throw them properly with the knuckle part of the glove at times, and that's why he loses power.
Yes, I'm surprised to see what he's doing at the moment, because he came here with a reputation of being a slick, fast-moving boxer. But this is no slick, fast-moving boxer that's in front of us here.
He's more a mauler.
He's walking in, he's just mauling away. He's fighting the kind of fight that Dingaan Thobela would like to fight, but isn't capable of doing properly at the moment.
Well, watch your head.
Possibly pulling a little bit of weight has also taken its toll on Willy Wise, and taking the fight at short notice. So all credit to Willy Wise coming at such short notice, and he's putting up a reasonable performance.
Thobela, unfortunately, the old combinations that used to be there have gone. There used to be quite something to watch him throw those combinations, moving on the man, batter him with a lot of punches and reduce him.
There's a blur of speed with those days, but now you can actually see the punches coming. Oh, it's corner urging Thobela on there to let it go, but I don't think he's got enough left to let it go. He's a tired man.
Well, he throws one. Oh, there he does throw a couple. Just as the gong went to end that round. But far from impressive at this stage. 3 more rounds to go. We'll wait and see.
Start the round like you ended it. You ended it brilliantly. You've got to get that speed coming in.
Much better on that side.
Now listen to me, Dingaan. Let's get on that toes. Let's box again. You're standing in front of him and fighting. Get on the toes. Use that beautiful jab that you got. When you get him on the ropes, then I want you to use that speed, okay? Try those combinations when you get him on. Thanks, man.
Well, some action there, that right hand going, very few right hands going in here from Dingaan Thobela, but that was one of the few.
When you do catch him and he drops his leg, comes back to the straight one.
I'll enter round 8 of this international welterweight contest between Dingaan Thobela, and it's a tired Dingaan Thobela and a tired Willy Wise coming out here for round 8. That is Willy Wise in the mauve trunks.
Well, Wise is showing a little bit of effort, banging away into the body. He does throw 2-3 punches in one go. I wouldn't call them combinations, I'd just call them a series of punches, but more than Thobela is really doing. Thobela is been told in the corner in between rounds, where's that beautiful jab of yours? Well, it used to be quite something to watch. Thobela trying to use it again now, but...
Well, not much action here for the fans. It hasn't been an exciting fight. It's been a little bit of a dull, mauling fight, and not much for the fans to shout about. They expected so much more from Dingaan Thobela.
any talk of, as there has been, of Thobela perhaps fighting for another world title, I think we can forget that one for the time being, because this is certainly no world title contender in this ring.
He's just going through the motions, and
that was a good punch from Thobela, banged off of Willy White's jaw. Willy White in a little bit of trouble in the corner. Thobela does unleash now with some good shots. Now we'll have to test the durability of White hand. Good punches from Thobela, 3 right hands to the head. And Willy White is still standing up. Those punches shook him. Now Thobela exploded into action, but it was all right-handers working through there.
There was a good right hand on Wise's jaw. That really shook him. He's in real trouble now, is Wise.
But he's still standing up, and he's still there.
Dingaan got enough left to put him away. Well, that is a flash of the old Dingaan Thobela we saw there, but there's only a flash.
Just for a moment, he looked like he was getting back into his stride, but here, once again, conditioning is against him. He wasn't able to keep it up.
He's let Willy Wise off the hook now, and Wise is able to weather the storm.
Well, we're winding down to the end of this 8th round. It's only 20 seconds to go now. And Willy Wise, well, this has been Thobela's round, because he landed some good punches. He came out full of fight for a change. And that little series of shots, punches that he threw landed, did their damage at the time. And Willy White found himself in trouble for one of the few times in this fight.
Well, that was a good round for Thobela, but I suppose half a round he fought, and the rest he went back to the old lazy style.
Stretch your legs out. Come on. Deep breaths. In your nose, out your mouth. Come on. Hey, do this for your son, right? He's going to be watching you next week. You do this for your son now. You do the body work. That side. Come on, deep breaths. Come on. You get it back. You get it back.
Here you have some of the slow-mo, and there's Thobela in full flight. He really went to town in that round. Came out of his shell for a while. Put a lot of energy into those punches. Caught that right hand of his was working overtime. That precision punching of Thobela's, he's very good at it. No matter how, what his condition might be, he still has that ability to pick the punching point and deliver the shot perfectly. Unfortunately, he just can't keep up that rhythm. He can't keep it going for any sustained period. And that is his own drawback right now.
Well, we're into round 9, and it looks like we're going to have 10 rounds. It hasn't been the greatest of fights. Thobela fighting in bursts, and slick Willy Wise just surviving. He's a survivor. He's come to do 10 rounds, and I reckon he'll hang in there unless Thobela pulls out a big one.
Holding.
Trouble is, he does seem to absorb a shot quite well, does Willy Wise. His record indicates that too, that he can take a punch.
Well, I think he's been around. He has good sparring in New York. He comes from a tough school, so he knows his way around the ring.
Right now, he's once again doing quite well.
Well, he's taken those shots very well. He's come right back now, and he's still in there.
No, hold it.
And have we seen another one of the Thobela outbursts that drained a bit more of the strength off a man and reduced him to just a walking target again?
Well, I think Dingaan Thobela is lucky he's not in with a big punch here tonight, because he's taken a few shots from Willy Wise, who's known to be a non-puncher.
Now, if he was in with a punch tonight, he'd be in an awful lot of trouble. In fact, it would be interesting to know, had it been the real fit and ready Gary Murray in the other corner there, who can punch.
Exactly. I don't think it would have lasted 10 rounds at full pace of Gary Murray on this form. It's rather disappointing, because we expected so much more from Thobela.
Yes, he's going at pedestrian pace through most of the fight.
Well, he's winning the fight, there's no doubt about it, but he's not looking good doing it.
Willy Wise still... He takes a right hand from Thobela and doesn't seem to have any effect at all.
No, there's no power coming in from those shots from Thobela. One at a time, they've been far out. No sting left in them. There's no timing in Thobela's punches.
No, he's got... If he wants to get anywhere again, there's an awful lot of hard work to be done. And when you see Thobela now shaping it fractionally even above the welterweight limit, you wonder just where his future does lie.
He's fighting as a junior middleweight. He's 30 years old. No, this is the end of his career.
And here Willy Wise dictating the pace, the terms at the moment. A man who would not have been in the same class as Thobela at his best.
There's no doubt about that. And I reckon Willy Wise did enough to steal that round.
Yes, he did.
What round? We won.
Yeah, big compliment. Come, Mr. Thobela, you went to sleep in the 9th round. Come, we've got 3 more minutes left now. Come, I want a big 3 minutes, huh? Okay. Look at the board, we're in the 10th round now. We lost it. He won a few rounds, huh? We don't know how the judges see this fight, but we won't take chances. Just stay behind the chair.
Well, there you see the slow-mo, and did you hear the Brian Mitchell comment? Well, Mr. Thobela, are you sleeping again? He wants a good 3-minute last round from him. Can Thobela really put in 3 minutes of effort? We'll have to wait and see.
He's got to keep it going. He's got to be strong this round. Come on, deep breaths.
Come in angles, like you did here.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Okay? Deep breaths.
Well, here we go into round 10, the final round. Dingaan Thobela and Slick Willy Wise from New York. And, well, the slick man has been there and he's made the pudgy man, as we might call him, look a little bit slow and worn out. And I'm afraid it hasn't been quite the Dingaan Thobela of old, not by any streak of imagination.
Well, I think he's just had a workout. Willy Wise has made him work, and he knew he wasn't much of a puncher. He's proved that he's not a puncher, and thank goodness for Dingaan Thobela, because Wise came here to the last 10 rounds and looks like he's going to do this.
Thobela trying to get on top of his man. Oh, there's a good right-hander from Thobela. I want a big last round from you, says Brian Mitchell. And Thobela scores with a couple of good right-handers. But the trouble is he lands with... Oh, there's another good right-hander.
Oh, excellent. Second one came in there. 2 good right hands, one off the other. That really shook Wise.
Wise getting pummeled there by Thobela. Now, bang, walks straight into a right-hander. Went straight through his guard. Flash on the point, but he's still there. He too has got a massive welt underneath his right eye, is Willy Wise. But of course, it's the last round, so nothing to worry about there. But he's doing the right thing. He got hurt, and he's come back into Thobela with punches.
Well, he's got 1 minute 35 seconds left around, and he's intent on surviving, so he's just going to stick there. Has got Thobela got enough left in the tank to take him out.
Well, there you have the whole scenario. Thobela can only throw 1 or 2 punches at a time, and then he goes back into the shell, lays on.
But good shots coming up from Thobela in the 10th round.
He's looking good in this round. But there isn't an awful lot of power going into those punches. Trying his best to land one big one. The crowd cheering him on. They sense there's a possibility of this late surge from Thobela that may just do something. But he's got less than a minute to do it in, and Willy Wise is lying right on top of him.
Well, Willy Wise is only intent to one thing now, surviving. There goes the gum guard. He wants to stay thing out. He's in real trouble.
Oh, yes,
he's still on his feet.
Bouncing around a couple of right-handers to the head there and the left too. His eyes are closing up. He's taken a battering in this round. Thobela's come out of his shell doing something. Half a minute left.
But can he stop him? I don't think he's got enough left. Wise is intent on staying there for 10 rounds. He's got 20 seconds left. He's going to hang in there. He's a proud man, is Willy Wise. He doesn't want to
out of Wise's mouth. You wonder why Thobela waited so long. But then, of course, Thobela knows he didn't have the condition, the stamina to rally like this earlier on.
Well, Willy Wise is going to last the 10 rounds. 5 seconds to go.
Oh, he'll see out the fight now.
And all credit to him. Courageous performance here in round number 2.
Chasing Thobela as the goal went. It just shows the ability is still there in Thobela, but it's no good having that ability if the conditioning is what it is right now. He showed in the last round he is full of fight. He's got plenty of fight. He's got plenty of good punching in him. But he had to wait till the last round to do it because the 9 other rounds he knew he just couldn't do that.
It was a disappointing fight on behalf of Dingaan. I think we expected so much more from him after that disastrous defeat against McCreesh. He'd come back in condition, finely tuned, and shows he's still got something left. But he won tonight, but he didn't show us a lot. Oh, we're waiting for the scorecards here. Our ring announcer, Thobela, is getting the scorecards. I've seen a bit of slow motion from that last round where Willy Wise took a battering from Dingaan Thobela.
Yes, I think it was enough of a battering to do what they were hoping it would, and that is to swing the judges in Thobela's favour. He'll come out with a points decision, but not what you'd call a meritorious one, a very, very straightforward type of performance.
There's no doubt that Thobela's won the fight, but he didn't look convincing in winning it.
What he needs is 10 rounds like this every week, and he might get into some kind of condition.
Possibly, yes. But anyhow, he's come off that loss. He's got back on the winning trail, I'm sure. So let's see where he goes from here.
Well, having a good chat to Brian Mitchell in the corner there. The old adversaries once who the war of words between them went on and on. Now they work together in the corner. That's the way.
Surprising how boxing is. The wheel turns right around.
Yep, that's the way of boxing. But they're still adding up the scorecards over there. It must have been a close one.
It seems to take a lot of time to add up the scorecards. I really don't know my scorecard. I don't think it was close. I think Thobela won it quite convincingly. But you never know how the judges see it.
Well, I think the judges might have given a lot of points to Willy Wise in the earlier rounds. He was looking good, and especially in the middle there, he came up and did some good work. There was only 2 or 3 rounds where Thobela really dominated the show, so it could be that they saw things that they thought fit to put more points in Willy Wise's direction.
Possibly, because Thobela was only fighting in spurts, so you're quite correct what you're saying, Eric.
Anyway, we're going to get the result. So here it's over to Dennis Diwali and the official result.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judges Neil scores the fight 95-96, Wise. Judge Charlie scores the fight 97-94, Thobela. And Judge Horn scores the fight 95-96. The winner by split decision, William Wise.
Well, Ellen, I don't go with that. I'm sorry. That is robbery. I cannot agree with that. There's no doubt that Thobela won that fight. I think it's a disgrace.
Yes, I wasn't keeping a scorecard, Ron. You were. Well, as I said, I think the judges might have been swayed a little bit by some of that performance of Wise in the earlier rounds. And, well, a lot of the crowd don't seem to like the idea either.
There was no doubt. Willy Wise didn't do enough work. The better punching, the more powerful punching coming from Thobela, even though he was fighting in spurts, there's no doubt in my mind that he got the decision. I don't agree with that.
There you have the picture of the winner, Willy Wise. He's just beaten Dingaan Thobela on points.
A split decision winner. A very, very lucky win.